Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe to my channel to make sure you get notifications for future videos. Today we're here and we are creating these beautiful bling butterfly nails. But first we got to remove the old design. So this set is actually a fill on a previous set that we did that was super cute, but we wanted to do something completely different. So instead of changing out the acrylic color, I basically just filled her in with some clear, and we're gonna polish on top with gel polish. So you guys are gonna watch me do this whole process. So right now we're just going to remove the top coat and get the nails prepped and the new growth prepped in order to apply new acrylic. Yes, so as you can see, the nails are yellow. The previous set we did, I did use a yellow colored acrylic, so that's not going to go anywhere. You know, we filed down the top coat that was on top, but as for the yellow, it does stay. So if you have clients that don't want that old color to show underneath, I would recommend just completely starting fresh with the new set. So soaking the nails off and starting a new set so you don't have that old color. But my client didn't mind. She's okay. We like to switch things up every 2 weeks. So we're going to stick with the old yellow, but we're going to paint on top of it. So here you can see me using my e-file. Prior to that, I was pushing back the cuticles with my metal pusher. And now I'm using a 180 medium grit sanding band to prep the grow out of her natural nail, just to make sure that it's on the same level as the nail that's been covered up with acrylic, and you know, no lifting, no cracking, none of that. So I like to make sure and go over it a couple times just to really make sure that there's no dead skin, no oils, and everything's nice and prepped for the acrylic, so that way our nails stay on. So I'm doing a fill, but I always like to refresh the shape. So this shape is kind of like a tapered square shape, and we just want to resharpen it up. You know, once our clients are out in the real world and working and moving, the nails dull out. The shape kind of changes with time over 2 weeks. So I like to take my hand file and just go back in and sharpen up that shape, because we want to make this set look like it was new. Nobody has to know that this was a fill, so we're gonna do what we do to make these nails look fresh, girl. Okay, so just hand file. I use the zebra file 180-100 nail file. That's my favorite nail file to use when filing acrylic. It's just nice and coarse and gets the job done, because acrylic can be hard to file. So I cut the cuticles, I cleaned off all the dust, I applied primer twice to each hand, and now I'm just going in with the fill. Fills are honestly one of my favorites because it's so quick and it's so satisfying to just see the nail shape change with basically just one swipe, 2 swipes of a little bead of acrylic, and boom, the nail is back fresh. So it's super satisfying. So we're just gonna go through, do all 10 nails with a little bit of a fill. And guys, you really want to make sure that you're not flooding the cuticle. I see so many pictures of acrylic being done where the acrylic is flooding the cuticle. For one, it doesn't look good. And two, you're not supposed to be touching acrylic to your client's skin. Over excessive use of acrylic on someone's skin leads to allergic reactions. So you ever see anybody with swollen cuticles and swollen skin around their fingernails? That's because they overdid it with the acrylic. Their nail tech wasn't doing it right. You notice how I press the bead close to the cuticle but not all the way. You don't want to push it up into the skin. You're literally placing it as close as you can to the cuticle and dragging the rest down to blend into the rest of the nail. There's no reason why acrylic should be touching your client's skin at any time. So if anything does, you know, sometimes a little piece will get into the skin. Go ahead and remove it, swipe it off, you know, take the point of your brush and get that excess that flooded into the cuticle out. Don't wait until it dries. Do it while it's wet, so that way you don't have to be trying to file that, because trust me, it's not easy. Once you get acrylic stuck into your cuticle and then it's dry, try to get it out and show me how that works. So now here I go, no flooded cuticles. I'm using my same medium 180 grit sanding band with my e-file, and I'm just going around that cuticle right where I put in the new acrylic, and we're just gonna smooth it out, reshape it, make sure that the cuticle is nice and sealed. It's super important to make sure that you seal that cuticle. If there's any openings or, you know, gaps or holes or bubbles right there, the nails are going to start lifting, water gets inside, that creates mold, which is basically nail bacteria. Disgusting. If you've ever seen green start growing underneath your acrylic, that's because your cuticle wasn't sealed and water's been getting inside. And we know what happens when water sits around. You know, stuff starts to grow. It's gross, but it's the reality. So we got to make sure that we're being thorough in our job and making sure that we seal that cuticle. Alright, so we finished sealing that cuticle. We get our hand file and just little details. Details mean everything. So get your hand file, whatever you need to reshape. And then I grab my buffer and just make sure that there's no scraggly edges and everything's nice and neat. So that way when you lay that polish down, that polish lays down. Okay, you feel what I'm saying? So you just want to make sure that you get rid of all dust, debris, flyaways, skin tack, all that. Okay, and now we're moving on to polish. So we finished the fill. You see how quick that is? Like, I'd be so happy when I finish a fill. It's like the best. So now I'm using regular gel polish to give her a design. So we decided to go with like a V French tip on a couple nails, a couple solid nails, and then throw some butterflies on top and crystals. This is like honestly one of my favorite designs. It's super cute, super on trend. Everyone's loving butterflies and I'm loving it because they're pretty to look at. So let's just watch me work and finish this beautiful design. And on a side note, always make sure that you have a good cleanup brush, something that's going to be small enough to get into the crevices of someone's nail folds. It kills me to see pictures with gel polish and nobody's cleaning up the cuticles, and you see gel polish flooded in the cuticles and it's dried. The thing about gel is that it's not dried until you actually cure it, so you have all the control. Make sure that you clean up your work before you cure, and you're going to have perfect gel polish application every single time. There's nothing wrong with using a cleanup brush. It's honestly your best friend. Also, if you're just starting out doing nails, it's super important to invest in some good art brushes. It's really honestly kind of hard to do nails without art brushes in general, but make them good and they're gonna last you a long time, and just do what you're supposed to do. So I actually use Biosculpture gel brushes. It's an amazing company. I love their products, and they use sable hair brushes, which is like real horsehair, but it really acts the best with gel polish. It just like lays it down perfectly with no streaks, and the hairs don't they don't come out, which is important. You know, I've used cheap brushes before, and when you're working and painting with art, the hair ends up getting into the polish, which is super annoying because it slows you down and messes up your design. So nail art brushes are a must. If you want to know a link, please send me a comment message and I'll give you that information. Yeah, so now I'm here just perfecting my V French. It's super easy. I used a liner brush first to get that V, and then I'm using my regular round gel brush just to fill in the rest of the color. And now for butterflies, and we're just kind of like going for it. I chose to do 2 nails with butterflies, and we're gonna do 2 butterflies on each nail. Just playing with it, making it look playful, like the butterflies are flying around in the spring and the summertime. Also super important that I didn't show you here, before you apply any type of sticker or nail decal, you want to make sure that you remove that sticky layer from the gel polish. All gel polish will have a sticky layer once you're done curing it, so just remove it with alcohol and then apply your stickers, so that way they really end up sticking. And then as far as the top coat, I do a double top coat when I use stickers, because, you know, sometimes those corners lift off depending on what your clients do, and the stickers peel, and that's not cute. So I use 2 different top coats. One that does have a sticky layer, and then I apply the non-wipe top coat on top of that just to seal it up and make sure that everything is nice and secure. You see here that I'm gluing down my crystals, Swarovski only, honey, and I'm using the Zule glue nail adhesive. This glue is life, and I can't live without it. So if you guys need the link to that, I'll definitely give you the information. This glue will lay down some crystals, and they're not going anywhere. So here I am just playing and making a cute little butterfly design to go with our theme. So we used a big butterfly crystal, super cute. Prep the nail, fill in that acrylic, lay down that gel polish, apply more crystals, and make it cute. And then you end up with an amazing design. Your client's happy, you're happy because you did that, and bam, nails are life. Just like that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Catch me on Instagram. Love you, and see you soon.